I think the best advice that I was given going into the teaching profession is just the idea that you are who you surround yourself with professionally.
Mm.
And, we all hear scary rumors about like the teacher's lounge when you're a first teacher and, ooh, avoid it, avoid professional conversation. But I just think that there are so many great opportunities to collaborate with other professionals. And when you are around innovative people, that innovation rubs off. And it's just that iron sharpens iron approach. I just think that together we are so much stronger and better than we are as individual teacher islands. So that was the best advice given to me. The advice I would give to other teachers is not to be afraid to be a change agent, not to be afraid to be innovative and think outside the box, because often it's the little tried approaches or the less traveled roads that really lead to just amazing academic success for our kids. So I mean, personally, my administration probably thought I was crazy when I started making films with students in language arts and social studies classes, and what is this filmmaking thing that you're doing? But they saw the instructional benefit, and my kids wouldn't have had those opportunities if I hadn't been willing to be a change agent for them.
Best practical advice. The best practical advice I would give teachers is this word that I came up with actually through this whole process that we've all gone through. Is in really looking at who I am as a teacher, I came up with this word of tenacity, that there's just this tenaciousness that I have in the classroom. It's almost, I've equated it to like a little terrier who just gets a hold of something and won't let go. And that's how I feel I am with my students, that you have to not let go under any circumstance, that whether it's the really bright kid who needs that final little push or that first student who enters my classroom and has never sung a note, that I am not going to let go. And I would say to any teacher, young or old, you just have to be tenacious about every aspect of what you do. Don't give up, because you just never know.
The analogy, how about a pit bull? I like the analogy. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the reality of teaching and what I've seen as a mentor to many teachers. Why do teachers leave the profession after 3 and 4 years? Why do they just give up and say, you know what, this is not for me? Why is that? Why is that? And it's just a gut-wrenching, experience that Tim talked about today in his presentation about one teacher quitting and what have you. And I've talked to so many teachers that say, you know what, this is not for me. And I look back and I look at the preparation for teachers. You don't have a class in grad school or undergrads or what have you that teaches classroom discipline and what's your success rate of that. And I have found that once you find that key to manage your classroom, because if they don't behave, they don't learn. I mean, it's pretty basic. And I have a classroom that are truly misbehaviors. I mean, I expect it. That's the nature of the beast. And when I tell them, hey, you know what, Mr. B don't play like that, I am talking about their behavior. And so many teachers get so overwhelmed that when they walk into the classroom, they, my God, what is this? Is this a riot? And not being able to control the classroom and just get so frustrated. As far as their lesson plans, their curriculum, and delivery, excellent. Much better than I am. Much better. But the mere fact that they have no, tools in their chest, if you will, to control discipline, it just becomes overwhelming. They don't want to come to work. They get frustrated. There's a lot of that. And plus there's other issues that we could talk about, other teachers not welcome into the profession and administration. But if I had to give any advice to any teacher coming into the profession, learn the modeling, learn how to maintain your classroom, the classroom behavior. Once that is under control, then you could teach. But to hear so many teachers say, I have these kids for 53 minutes and 45 minutes is just to try to get them to begin the lesson. I mean, look at all that time that's being wasted on curriculum that could be delivered. That's my take on it.
If I had to tell new teachers coming in, you need to let the students know that you care about them every single day. Don't be afraid to tell them you love them. And I'm not being, as verbally, but you need, and that means that you call their parents when they're struggling, or you seek out ways to help them, or sometimes when a kid's having a bad day, I'll walk around and I'll put a Hershey's hug on their desk. Just put it on the corner of the desk and keep walking. Or sometimes just a pat on the shoulder when you walk around, just to let them know, and that's it. Just keep on walking. And there's many ways to let kids know that you care about them each day, and they need to know it. And I teach high school, and a lot of times they don't get that feedback. Their parents don't let them know. There is no one else around to let them know that somebody cares about them. And when I say to let them know you care about them each day, that's not an easy job. That is definitely because you're so busy with the lesson plans, with the delivery, and you're in a 53-minute class or a 55-minute class, and to let the students know that you care about them each day, it takes some work. And new teachers coming in, I think that's very difficult for them because they are so tied to the lesson plan and to the delivery of the lesson to make sure that there's a distance between them and the students. And so those students may be looking at the teacher, but they're really disengaged. And so when you let a student know that you care about them, that the reason you're up there in front of that classroom or the reason that you prepared that lesson is because you care about them, then suddenly that lesson means more to them. And they're more willing to ask questions and to buy in on the lesson. But that's something I feel like you need to do every single day, whether you're having a good day or not.
And I would echo some of the things that have already been said. It takes a village. None of us are the teachers we are without the village that surrounds us. As a teacher, we are often stuck in our classroom. We're in our, we're working through lunch, we're working through breaks, we're in that little classroom, just trying to stay afloat. But we need to be out there. We need to say, okay, I'm having a problem here or there. What do you do? Talk about professional development. I'd love, opportunities to be in someone else's classes, to see what they do. I wouldn't have some of the ideas. I wouldn't have some of the successes. I wouldn't have overcome some of the challenges I've had in the classroom with behavior or, how to show a student that I care if I hadn't seen other teachers do that same thing or be able to go to them and say, woohoo, I did it today, or, oh, geez, I didn't do it so well today. What can I do to get through it tomorrow? And for me, the advice I would say to any new person coming in as well is to be yourself, but get the students engaged. Our classrooms these days are full. 20-1 was a long time ago. And in order to get everybody engaged, whether they're in the front row or in the far corners, we have to find those creative student engagements. And that's really in my classroom. We sing, we dance, we gesture, we mirror each other. We're chanting, we're dancing. And I would say that whether it's, a second grader who still does it and it's fun, to a high schooler who might think it's not cool but really has fun doing that, get your students engaged in creative ways. And you have them, and they will just love it.